Load words.
Okay. I'm like, well,
Is it new?
where did the snap core go?
Yeah, we're. Does he use
Sometimes,
this with you?
yes, he did. Like I saw him all throughout the fall, and then another speech path, Miss Spivey came to help me with my caseload because we get so busy during the year, and so she took all of Miss Duncan's kids, and so then
Okay.
so Gianni saw him through this spring semester. But when I don't know why they don't make it like easy to find things.
We're gonna try and get him in back in ABA. His psychiatrist was highly suggesting that. So that's the goal.
Okay. Are you guys gonna try and get back into like speech and OT, like outside?
Well, they dismissed him. I don't know if my wife said that.
Right, yeah. She did, and I don't agree with that at all.
I think with ABA, that would, because I guess he just wouldn't stay still, you know.
And right. So with speech, it's not always about like the actual speech and talking. Mm-hmm. So at the first of the year, Gianni and I worked at staying at the table. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Did he master that?
He kind of did, yeah. I mean, it took like a little while, but
when he was younger and he was in ABA at home, he's just everywhere. But yes. when they would like, hey, the parents come see this, they would like, okay, Gianni, let's do this, and he'd be like 2. He'd come pull out his chair, sit there, and I'm like, wow, how do y'all get him to do this? But then we moved, and we haven't been able to get him in here.
There we go. Yes, but there's lots of different options here. It doesn't have to just be like OPTC. And I know they have a very high turnover rate for therapists, and they have lots of new therapists. And with kiddos like G, we don't work with devices a lot after you just graduate. And so it's hard. Like they do a lot of just like working on sound. So when you get a kiddo that's nonverbal and using a device, it's hard for them to know what to do sometimes if they don't have a lot of experience with it. This might work or not. I don't know. Oh, there we go. Okay, so perfect.
She put I don't know he just pressed it this morning. I want to watch WWE.
Okay, so let's see. There's a couple things with the snap core first. So what they do first is they put a board. These are called core words. These are words we use a lot. They also call them high frequency words.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I was thinking like necessity things. Like drink.
So when I first got him, help was not on here. It was hidden. So up here there's a settings button. And you can see all the words that are hidden.
Wow. Okay.
So a lot of times which parents are also allowed to go to device trainings. If you look up this company, Tobii Dynovox, they'll have a list of trainings, and usually therapists go, and here we go. Therapists go, and I've also gone with parents as well. So they teach you how to do all of these things. And so help, and you just press it.
And it'll now
and it should, you press it, and then there's this little I button right here.
Yes, to see and unsee it. Gotcha.
To see and unsee it. And then if you press done, now it's gone.
Okay.
And so I felt like, I was like, why would help be hidden? Why would anybody want to hide help? Because that is a high frequency word.
And when you press that, is it just high frequency words that'll appear and like hidden
on this page, yes.
Okay.
So what Snapcore did, which this is one of my favorite programs because it's so versatile, they did all this research and put words that kids use the most on one page.
Okay.
And so after that, the other thing they did, so that's always going to be your core words. That's always going to be that blue button. The next thing they did were what they call quick fires. Those are more words that you use all the time. So like social and greetings. Hi, my name is. And these can also be hidden and unhidden. So if this is too much, do what?
Same way you did
yes.
before. Copy.
Everything is right there. And then there's the eye. You just like click on one and hide it. Hang on. And then click that to unhide it, and then just done.
Our thing is, I don't think he has. He can press the buttons, no problem, but he doesn't know what they mean.
Right.
He's just pressing them because he's been taught to press it.
So what we did, when I was doing help, one of his favorite toys, which I've sent a video to Rochelle with these too. He loved these little treasure boxes. So I would get one out and he couldn't open it. And so what I would do is we would just, he already knows that I want also, because he would always go, I want more. So we would do, I want help. And then I would give him the key, which the keys are hard to use too. And he would try and do it, but if he couldn't do it, I would say, I want help. And then we would do it together.
And then he would keep knowing
we would do this with everything for like the whole 30 minutes sometimes.
Oh, he sees you for 30 minutes?
Well, no, but sometimes. If he had a really good day, I would just keep going. If it was a rough day, we kind of cut it shorter those days. Like on days he didn't feel well or something was going on.
He was pulling your hair.
So, yeah. I was lucky. I never got my hair pulled. But that's what we would do. And so... And a lot of it is modeling. So when kids learn language, we're always talking to them whether they talk back or not. So to have this out just all the time and just accessible is also important. So if you're sitting at the dinner table and you're like, okay, we're going to eat. And then you just start eating. You don't even have to make it a structured thing. Okay. It can be very, very unstructured.
My wife does that. Like whatever she's about to do, she'll press it. So he tries to, but he doesn't pay attention because if he's on his other tablet, he's just watching.
There's the other thing. So I've got 5 tips for you guys. I tried to keep everything very simple. 5 tips. Number 1, gain attention. So we were in a room and there weren't a lot of other distractions anyway. So he pretty much was I had the most interesting thing in the room. And so he would come to the table. And also we did that metronome. He really responded to that over the fall.
My wife has, you can, like one of the Alexa devices, you can play a metronome. And that's, okay, you told her about it and she does it at home.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I actually got that from the occupational therapy assistant. She's the one that mentioned that. And so I started using it, and it really just kind of calmed him enough to just come over. And so I just had this sitting on the table. So when we first started, and then I had these or a different toy. And which learning resources here? I'll show you.
Have a lot of good
learning
stuff.
Resources is one of the best toys. They have so many fun toys. So I would just set these out and he would pick one and I'd be like, well, what do we want to do? I'd be like, help. It doesn't even have to be the I want help. He was just so good with I want. We just ran with it. But it could just be help because kids don't always come up to you and talk to you in sentences anyway. So we don't want to expect more from him than what kids his age typically do anyway. And so then we would do that and we would open and then there were things inside and he would take them out and he would take them out and then he'd want to put all these in. So, which is good. Learning Resources has these toys that can go.
Is that available on Amazon or is it just on Learning? Okay.
I buy everything on Amazon.
Yeah, we do too.
And it's usually cheapest on Amazon too. But then once you put them all in, like you can turn them over, they will fall out. But a lot of the times he didn't figure that out till later. But then he'd need help opening it again. So we'd have to ask for help again. So we would just ask for help.
Kick out of this too.
Yes. Oh, they're great. I love them. And so that's a lot of things. And then we would put it up and I'd be like, what do you want to do? And then he would be like, I want more. And so then we would do them all again. So a lot of times it's not the activity that's important. It's the requesting. And everything is a communication opportunity. So even when kids don't want to do something, I just say, okay, all done. Just tell me. And we don't have to do it anymore. We'll do something else. And so there's some activities we last 2 seconds, but as long as you tell me all done or I don't want that, because what is one of the first words kids learn is no. No, I don't want it. No.
Mine too.
So,
Definitely.
yes. And so as long as he's making a communication attempt with me, that's what I'm after. I'm not after finishing something, starting something. I want him to tell me what's going on.
Okay.
So that's kind of the overview for the core words. A lot of times, if you do go to any of these device trainings, yeah, they'll tell you not to hide any because they want well, I think it is sometimes too much for kids, but they also say you want to just kind of throw have everything accessible, because it's like you can't take words away from kids, like typical kids. So they see this as like, oh, well, you're taking that away from him. I would, honestly, I would unhide go also. And hurt.
I like your approach better though, because he's giving it to him in bite-sized pieces. Because if he sees all of that,
yes,
he's like,
he's gonna get overstimulated, and he's just and kids just start pushing buttons, and I'm like, it's too much for me too. So a lot of the words I just keep on there.
I think go would be very important.
Go is good.
In the
Stop
morning,
is good.
As soon as he puts his shoes on, he's ready to go. And for him to say, he'll just keep taking you by the hand. But for us to redirect him to that,
yes.
I think,
And so every time you do something, well, let's go to the living room. Go. Let's go to the car. Let's go outside. You can also do it with nursery rhymes. If he likes Wheels on the Bus, go round and round. You can play a game. What was that? Like red light, green light, stop, go. And then stop didn't stay on there. Sometimes I got to redo things. There you go. And honestly, I like having emotions on there too, but until they can kind of recognize.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, I don't think
it can go back and forth. That one can go back and forth. You can hide it and unhide it, because there's days when you're like, oh my goodness, I see you're so happy today. Happy. Oh, you are sad. I'm sorry, you're sad. Or I don't know why mad's not on there. It's usually happy and mad that I like on there.
People normally press mad.
Yeah. So I'm like, I see you're mad. I see you're frustrated. Yes, exactly. Frustrated. And he just go over and over. So that's kind of, and as he gets more familiar, as things go along, you can unhide things.
What is the speak function there? Oh, it'll just say that.
Yeah, it'll say all of that.
Okay.
Help, I want more, all done, go.
So you got to clear it all for it to go again. I don't use that button a whole lot. I'll clear things just because of the practice.
He did that. He pressed a bunch of buttons this morning.
Yes. All that. So the other thing that we were doing, especially with food, let's see, snacks. So you were talking about how he has trouble with the vocabulary. So what I would do is I would come to this page. I don't think I hid anything. I might have hid like a few.
Popcorn, pretzels, chips.
Yes. I would have fruit snacks. Yep. I would have popcorn. I would have crackers. I'd have pretzels, and I'd have them all in containers he cannot open. So, because these kiddos are so fast, he would have them eaten before I would even do anything. So I would keep them in a container, like something with like a screw top lid or something, and so that even if he grabs it, he still has to ask for help to open it, or he has to ask for open. Oh, I had goldfish too. But I would say goldfish, and then I'd give him a goldfish, or I would say cracker, and then I'd give him a cracker, or popcorn, or you could also like hold up too. Do you want pretzels or popcorn? Pretzels or popcorn? And then I would clear it, and then have either hand over hand, like take his finger and push it, and then he automatically gets whatever it is I have. Because the power of communication is him telling me something and him getting what he wants. So if he wants popcorn, then he presses popcorn. You get popcorn. I give him like 2 or 3, because then he has to keep asking and keep asking. You don't get a whole bowl. And this is something you guys don't have to do it like that all the time, but you could set apart like 5 minutes like a day or every other day and just work on that.
My wife does that. Like she'll say this or this, you know.
Yes. and just always kind of have this out and available. It doesn't have to be, and I think on here somewhere it says, this isn't to be like forced on somebody. It's not to be like, you have to use this. It's more like language. It's here when we need it. And this is how, and a lot of modeling, and it's just using it that way, if that makes sense.
Do you think we should keep it in a central location, and then as long as he knows where it is, and if he's getting frustrated, he can go and press the buttons in there? Okay.
Yes.
Versus like, show me what you want.
Right. Right. And actually on, was it this website? I think so. So this is thick, but I just found this morning and I really liked it. It's got QR codes, for your phone that you can just scan. And it's got all this information. So if there's anything that you guys have trouble with, which, you guys have my number, you can always call or text. I also, I'm only at the school part-time anyway. I have my own private office outside of here that I practice also. So I do both. I do both worlds.
Are you covered by TRICARE?
I'm not. Unfortunately. We've had trouble with TRICARE. I've had a lot of people asking about that lately. I have Blue Cross and I have Sooner Care. Those are the two that I have. But if you guys are looking for a speech path, though, I'm sure I could track somebody down that maybe would have TRICARE. But I also know if you're getting back into ABA, that's a lot. ABA usually takes up a lot of time. I don't know how much time he would do, but
he used to do it like 8 hours a day.
I was going to say my experience was like every day, all day long, and that's tiresome too. So
how does that work with kids that are actually in school though?
Sometimes if it depends on the company that does the ABA. Some of them will come to the school. Some kiddos have like their own ABA therapist that just like literally follows them around all day long. And then some people choose to like homeschool their kids so that they can go to ABA. I think ABA also can be like limited to like a few hours a day. So the kid could still go to school and maybe be taken out early or go late before their therapies. Sometimes I feel like it's a lot on the kid too. But it's just kind of different for each family. I've seen them do it all different ways. So it just kind of depends on you guys. And I feel like Gianni has made a lot of progress. Like in the fall, he made so much progress. From running around the room to staying at the table with me. And I didn't put demands like you have to sit in your chair, you have to stay at the table the whole time. He would come like open a box and then he would like go run around. And then I would keep playing and he'd come back and be like, what are you doing? And we would do it all over again, and his attention just improved from there. So I think a lot of it is, yes, have expectations, but not expectations that he's not going to meet for his age, especially for his age, because he's still so young. So let's see. So where was it? There were some things in here. So there's all about modeling, and then there's a video about it. There's all about looking for success. So like I was saying, increased attention to interactions is a form of success. Initiation of communication is a form of success. So just because he's not using this to tell you exactly how he's feeling and what he wants doesn't mean he won't eventually get there. Usually with a device, the success with the device is really just consistency and time. So it might be a long time before he's consistent with it because of attention or just understanding, those kind of things. But as long as you guys just have it out, like I would say, don't let this like stress you out. Like we have to use it all the time and we have to take it everywhere we go, because that's not necessarily the case. It's just kind of having it available to use. I remember what I was looking for. And there are some activities in here. They might be too hard for him because some of them have to do with books and playing games. So that might be like in the future stuff, or like going to a restaurant. But there were on this website, there are, which I might find it on my computer and just email it to you guys. But there's also printout boards that look like these. So
he had some, like, I don't know if he got it from when he was at Parkview, but it was a bunch of laminated things in a little 3-ring, just a run ring.
Yeah.
But he wouldn't.
Oh,
It'd be just like
yeah,
that. He wouldn't use it.
These are exactly like this. They look the same. They're just
okay.
It's just printed out. And so if you want to keep this in a central location and then print out like all the food items and just put them on your fridge, so he can just go to your fridge and be like pretzels or drink, and so then you don't have to have the device with you. I'll find those for you guys.
And then it would make using this easier because it's the same interface.
Okay. Exactly. So what else was there? So that's like kind of the main thing. And everything, if you guys, like I said, want to hide or unhide buttons,
is there a way to add words to this page?
You can.
So I think that's what my wife was interested in.
You can, however, I wouldn't mess with the home page.
Okay.
Unless you absolutely, do whatever is best for you, absolutely. But what I like about them is they've created a quick fires or a topic section. So if you want to just go create your own topic, you can put whatever you want on here and not have to mess with the homepage. Because a lot of times I feel like when we mess with the homepage, we can't ever get it back to what it was without like a factory reset, and then and then everything's just everywhere. So consistency is what is important, because we want him to be able to find the same word at the same spot every time.
So is the goal for him to be able to navigate this tablet all on his own? Okay. So he'll be able to go to topics and this and then that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. That is the eventual goal. That might be like in the
16, 17.
Well, yeah. I don't know about that far, but like in the future. But yeah, so again, everything is under settings. So I believe. Oh, there we go. So you double tap on the picture, and let's say one of his favorite things he always wants is popcorn. And so if you don't want to go to all the way to find snacks, you can just type in popcorn. It'll pop up the picture. It'll pop up the word. And then you
can create custom things.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I believe my wife did that with WWE, because I know WWE is not in there by default.
Okay. So if we go back, double tap and there it is. WWE. Oh, and it gives you a World War II picture. So if it does that, you can search for another picture.
Or you can just,
Or you can take a picture.
Oh,
yes.
It is. Okay.
From the camera.
And then you just take something, like picture of something he's used to. Oh my God, that's genius.
Yes.
Because he knows the YouTube icon.
There it is.
And like WWE.
There.
Maybe a little TMI has merged with Peacock, the network.
Oh no,
and
I'm aware.
He knows now to press the Peacock app to get to WWE.
And so that alone tells you that he is very capable of using. Once he's just got to figure out what it's for and what. So if you want like the treasure boxes on there, you just take a picture of the treasure box. You can retake. You can accept.
Genius. How do you delete words that you no longer need?
So we'll cancel that.
So like there's already a popcorn one, right? So
right. So I just put that on there.
But is it
But there is
rooted to that original one? So if you delete it, it deletes popcorn.
No.
Okay.
No. If we delete these.
Okay, and then just press the delete button.
There is the little trash can down there.
That only works for up here.
Right. Okay. This is for the phrases, yeah. And so this one, yeah.
Okay.
So I can just delete that, and then those two are deleted. So,
what's the difference between this blue and orange here?
Right. They, go away. So these, if you want to put things in the same category, they kind of just highlighted them. It doesn't really matter. So when you delete them, it does delete this, but that really doesn't matter either, because if you go back, just plus, and then you can add whatever you want.
Okay.
Like I said, it'll let you search for anything. So if I just wanted to search for wrestling for the WWE, then I'm like, what will it come up with? Oh, well, it comes up with some funny ones. So it comes up with those. So if you don't like the pictures it gives you, you can also search online for pictures, and you can also take your own picture. Yes.
It'd probably be easier to just take my own.
Yes, which is usually what I would do as well.
He has all the little belts, and he always likes to carry them around. I'm surprised he hasn't taken them to school.
Yes.
Oh, I think he has taken them to school.
Yeah, there is. I can't remember. Oh, either way. I'm pretty sure there is a way. I don't see it at the moment. But you can do it from your camera, or if you just are going around and you just want to take a bunch of pictures, you can do it from your photo library also. So you can just go take pictures of his favorite things, keep it in your photo library, and then pull them up from there whenever you need them.
Okay.
So that's a possibility also. So yeah, you can make a page look however you want it to, which is really nice. So I really do. I like the topics. And there's also like an about me. And again, if you don't want like calendar talk, I don't even know what that is. Like, I'm like, so why do we need it? So we'll just hide. Oh, I think I deleted it, but you can hide it. But then if you wanted to add it back, you can just type it back in and it just comes back. Okay. And it might come back as a different, so that is one thing. If you delete it, there are options to go back and change the colors. All that color option stuff is on here too. Don't ask me where though, because oh, there it is. So if you don't like the beige colorings, you can go change the button background to whatever color you want. So there's all those, which I think they have them as vanilla. So then it changes it back to vanilla. So now you don't have a weird white button right there. So yeah, and then all of these are your topic choice. You can put whatever you want on those boards. And if you do want a, let's see, I was seeing, you can really set up these as any way you want as well. They give you these as an example of, again, kind of more related to high frequency words like mom, dad, yes, no, words we use every day. Thank you, sorry, you're welcome. And then there's also feelings, like a quick find feelings. So this is also one of those things where it's like you guys just have to play with it as well, just to kind of figure out where everything is and what you want and don't want. Social and greetings, that's something that eventually, you know, if he goes, you know, to ABA, take it, introduce yourself, my name is Gianni, or you know, or have him say bye, those kind of things. Just something simple to start out with. Was there a question you asked me that I didn't answer? Okay, I feel like I can't remember if I missed one or not.
That is mine there.
All of this is yours.
Perfect.
So here's another one. These are just, again, AAC tips for parents, just because I feel like this can get very overwhelming very quickly. So if you just keep it simple to like 5, just remember if it ever gets overwhelming, just go back to these like 5 steps. This is all we got to do. This is our baseline, and then we can grow from there, type of thing. And then this is just like a little bit more in depth of just different information, but I just loved how they had the QR codes for the videos. So I found some of those very helpful. And some of them even have to do with changing things on here. So like if you don't want, if you go to,
you can change the grid size and everything.
Yes, awesome. If you want to go to make a topic page and you're like, well, I don't really want that many pictures on there, you can go to, what is it? Page, yeah, I was right. Page, so there's the page set right there. And then you can change the grid size on it.
Yeah,
I was like, that did not print out very well for you guys. So I'm like, you know what? I just want 4 buttons on that page.
And that'll be specifically for that page, not the entire. Okay.
Right. Should be. If that happens to not be the case, we can always go back and look. Oh, it might be. Yeah. So if you change the grid size, it might change your whole thing. Yeah.
Oh, well. That's still there.
Well, it kind of changes that too.
I guess that's all that's really a necessity, though, right?
Here's why that did that. Let's see, what was it on? Were we on 5x5? That seems like a lot. Or was it 4x4?
I think it was a lot because all the topics were across the top there.
Well, why? I know. Sometimes it's like they're very temperamental, or it can be. Okay. If you just want it to be 1, so if we go back here and instead of page set, just the page.
And it'll just do that. Okay.
So now this should just do. It should just do the page.
Okay.
So if we try that. And then we go back to the home page. Yay.
Perfect.
So there you go.
And what is this cloud? Like, if you want to, so what are you syncing it with?
So I had a kiddo that used this same system. I think I put too many on there now. That looks too small. I'll go back and fix that.
We can adjust.
So on my iPad, because I'm a speech path, they also gave me this program for my iPad. So I could sync with Gianni's, and so if I wanted to change his page, I could change it and then have you guys click the cloud and it would update to whatever I changed it to from my account. So that's pretty cool. I used to do that quite a bit. Especially for like grandparents that were taking care of kids. They're like, I don't know what to do. I could go into their system and fix it for them, and all they'd have to do is tap the cloud and it would be back. Because the kids would go in and he would go in and change the buttons and all this crazy stuff. He got to where he was like 9 or 10, but he would go in and change everything, and I'm like, stop it. He was funny though. So I'm going to go back and not have so many buttons on this page here. So I would just go back to grid size on the page set and maybe do the 6x6.
Yeah, I think that's how it looks.
That looks better. I think the About Me was up there too, though. So I'm just like, overdoing it. Sorry if I didn't get all this on your camera. Trying to remember to do that in front.
Oh, I can tell you that.
It was something, yeah, that looks better.
And plus it's in here as well. So
yes, it is.
She'll be able to customize it as she wants.
But all of that is the same. So but yeah, that's kind of just the overview. Do you have any questions or anything? I know it's a lot. And this is like really one of the only reasons why I would say maybe do find a speech path that is familiar with this, like privately, so that they can kind of help you after he becomes a little more functional with it, or like help you take the next steps after he gets kind of going with it, if that makes sense, and just help you guys.
Well, thank you so much.
You're
I think
welcome.
You just demystified this whole thing.
Oh, good. And like I said, if you guys have any questions, I won't be here next year, sadly. I know. But the other speech path I work with, she's also very good with devices. So,